I think there wasn't there somebody on this pod that was saying something like, oh, that he or she admired my generation
Yeah.
because it takes courage to migrate, courage to relocate.
It
That
does.
most of the younger generation don't have that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they need to, so that they need to uproot themselves
Yep.
from wherever they
It
are.
teaches you
Try,
so much about
yeah, that
yourself.
you, so that you go to other places.
But it
Yeah.
can be quite scary.
It can be, but which is why you have to do your research.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to plan. Like, I think before I went to Nigeria, I can't tell you
The number
How
of
much?
the number of YouTube videos I was watching. I was like, okay, because I knew I was going to go to NYSC. I knew I was going to stay in camp. I probably watched more than 30 videos of people's vlogs for NYSC. I did a lot of reading. I joined so many different group chats. Like, I was prepared, because one thing about me is if I'm going to do something that people are telling me, why are you doing this? I need to be prepared for whatever is coming.
Yeah.
Even like thinking about moving to Lagos, I started watching like YouTubers or vloggers in Lagos, like just seeing their lifestyle, seeing what Lagos was like understanding like, okay, where would I do my grocery shopping? Where would I do that? Thinking of those kinds of things like that would practically help me like ease in.
Yeah.
Was so useful for me, because when I went, even though like it was still quite overwhelming moving regardless, if you have that bank of information, you have that knowledge, it makes it a lot easier. And you have more realistic expectations of where it is.
And funny enough, people that often, not most of the people that actually migrate from Africa to the West, they don't do as much of that research.
Yeah.
Yes, they take the
and
they
that's
take the risk.
that's
Yeah.
something I think too as well.
And I think the younger
people
generation
should,
needs
yeah.
to. Yeah, they
Like
need
a lot of
to.
people that even come from Nigeria. I remember I used to speak at this like education event where it was like for people that were coming from Nigeria to universities in the UK, and I always talk about like my uni experience, and I always tell people like, do your research, understand what is available in that town, understand what that uni has to offer. A lot of people just go and say, I want to do this course. What is the cheapest university? They just apply, they just go there. You're going to a town that's in the middle of nowhere. You don't even know anybody there. You haven't done any research of what it's like to live there. You haven't like watched TikToks or YouTube videos of people living in that place. Like you don't understand anything about the place you're stepping into. Of course, when you go there, you could fall into depression because you're literally like in shock. Like you have no idea about where you're going into. So I always tell people, research is so important because at least it gives you a view of what you're stepping into. So you're not completely surprised when you enter that situation.